Hey there, everybody. Florence is still a tropical storm. I hope you've enjoyed your breezy and maybe a little bit more comfortable weather today because of Florence. Now, this is expected to weaken and make more of that northern turn as we go to our Sunday, but for now, not the case. In fact, Florence moving at a snail's pace, only 2 miles an hour, could walk faster than that over in South Carolina. Unfortunately, that is just not exactly what you want to see at all over in North Carolina, because what's happening is as the center of circulation continues to move very slowly, almost stationary, those heavier rain bands still going into these same areas that have been getting the majority of a lot of that heavy rainfall. So now what you want to see, I know the folks of North Carolina would really rather this move on out of here, and it's going to be at least another day of this very heavy rainfall. These feeder bands just continuing to develop these heavier showers over the Atlantic, that warmer water, the Gulf Stream there, and then just going right up and in there. So there's a lot of fuel still for those outer bands. But for us, you guys probably want to know what's going on for us in the Low Country and Coastal Empire. And of course, I've got that for you. Throughout the past couple of hours, we've seen some of these outer shower bands try to make it into our area. Beaufort, a little bit of rain right along the Savannah River there, going close to Rincon there, moving a little bit further off toward the coast, but for the most part, we haven't seen much of anything in the way of accumulated rainfall here, especially if you're in Georgia, broadening it out a little bit for the whole viewing area, all the way up from Hampton County, Beaufort, Jasper County. That's where we've got the best chance of rain going into this evening as well. Going closer to Effingham County as you go into this evening, as you have a band that's trying to get its act together, even though this is light rain. I'm just giving you the best chances of these showers here. So if you live south of I-16, you have those plans for this evening. You really don't even need an umbrella. It's going to be pretty isolated or compact where we see most of these rain chances. So now I want to show you this, the wind gust. Now this is now Myrtle Beach, and now notice with that center of circulation off to the west, it's getting a straight southerly flow, getting a little bit more humid over in the Myrtle Beach area. 37-mile-an-hour gusts. Charleston not reporting right now. Beaufort 29, Savannah 28 mile an hour. And notice this is more from the west. So as this continues to move west, the center of circulation then eventually makes that turn. Sunday's wind is actually going to be coming from the southwest. So that'll be a difference between today and tomorrow. Augusta was over 30 miles an hour earlier. Not so bad now. Statesboro, a little bit of rain getting toward your area. That wind from the northwest still at 16 miles an hour. So really minimally impacted here from Florence. Could have been a lot worse. Now I'm showing you the max wind gusts from today in the 30s here from Hilton Head up to Beaufort, Savannah. Beaufort yesterday got over 40 miles an hour, so the tropical storm force wind gust over there today, not so much. Claxton got up to 30, Vidalia 30 as well, but notice as you go further south, those winds go down as well. So Jessup only up to 24 today, Waycross 23, and over in Coffee County, Douglas, they're at 20, Brunswick 21 from the west. So you guys talking about, let's see what you guys are chatting about here today. Lower temp, light drizzle, overcast here in Beaufort. Will it be the same tonight and tomorrow? Yeah, it'll be very similar for you guys, especially further north. It'll take a little bit longer for those clouds to come on out here. And we're not expecting any high impacts tonight. This here, just an update, just following through here what's going on with the rest of the storm, and let's take you hour by hour with what's going to happen here with Florence as it continues to exit our area. Now this would be for this evening. Notice still a few light showers in the same areas that they're at right now. The brunt of that rain continues to go up from Wilmington up all the way into North Carolina. I do think Charlotte is at risk here of getting some flooding over the next 24 to 36 hours. These rain bands lining up to go right over Charlotte, which is going to be unfortunate for them. Obviously a heavily populated area. You don't want to see that anywhere, but especially for a metro area. But that's through this evening. Let's take you through tomorrow. Notice that wind shift now to the southwest here, and we're starting to dry out a little bit. So we're getting some drier air to filter in a little bit. On this side of the storm, we actually have some sinking that's going to be making it harder for rain to develop. So we're actually going to be drying out a little bit. That filters on in here. But notice that heaviest rain still going into North Carolina. That's the name of the game here as we go throughout the next couple of days. And then it does actually look like once it finally makes that more northern turn on Sunday, we're going to see those rain chances go a little bit down here in the Low Country and the Coastal Empire. So that's the forecast. Things quieting down for us. What we have now is pretty much what it's going to be for the rest of this evening. Overnight, those winds subside just a little bit. The rain mostly stays north of I-16. But I do want to show you some of these crazy radar estimated totals of rain. This is over the past 24 hours, so this isn't even the entirety of this storm. But where I showed you a second ago where all those rain bands are here that are just building and going into the same area, well, that's what happens when you have a nearly stationary storm. And for the poor folks over in North Carolina, they're going to be dealing with this flooding for quite some time. So we've seen a few areas here that have an estimated close to 20 plus inches of rainfall. Some of these are confirmed as well. So these aren't just the estimations. Some of these definitely have been confirmed by the National Weather Service. So I'm just showing you guys how we kind of dodged a bullet here on this one, but definitely not wishing that upon them at all. It could have been a lot different for us here in the Low Country Coastal Empire, and it did not end up being that way. Meanwhile, here in the Low Country, hardly anything in the way of measurable rainfall just yet. So a few tenths here and there. That's going to be about it. It takes a persistence with those light rain showers to actually get you some accumulations with these outer bands. But what we're looking at for the rest of this evening, very similar to what we have been. Gusts to 40 going to be your biggest threat. That's actually going to be brought down a little bit as well, probably closer to 35. The good news is that we haven't had much of anything in the way of reports of power outages. It's been very isolated. That's some good news as well. Keep those stronger winds away from us, or at a minimum. But the wave forecast actually has come down about a foot as well. So what we're looking at here Saturday, so today, tomorrow, Monday, still at 5 to 6 feet, going back down. Middle of the week actually looks pretty nice going into say the second half of the work week that's coming up. But you don't want to think about the work week yet because you want to enjoy your weekend. I appreciate you guys tuning in here as well. But this is in the cautious zone here. I do advise caution if you're going to get out into the water. We have actually seen some of those low tides actually go a little bit lower than normal, because even with the 15 to 25 mile an hour wind, that will go into affecting where the tides go. So it has pushed it out a little bit. National Weather Service in Charleston was actually mentioning that a little bit yesterday, so that was kind of interesting. So what we're looking at here, again, for those of you that maybe joined in a little bit later, I appreciate you guys sticking it out with us through all of this. Florence, still a tropical storm, hardly moving west, only at 2 miles an hour. It takes that northern shift as we go into Sunday, likely then a tropical depression, and it actually could regain a little bit of strength as it goes out to sea, but that would be toward the end of the week, obviously not impacting us whatsoever. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to go through these comments and try to answer those for you. But some of the frequently asked ones, I'm just going to get them out now. Looks like rain chances, obviously what we've been saying, higher in the Low Country, even though this is light rain. That's where you're going to have a little bit stronger wind as well. Obviously you're closer to that center of circulation where the lower pressure is. The pressure will be higher as you go away from that. So you get your wind by the difference in pressure over distance, and when that difference is greater, you have a stronger wind, and when you get closer to that center of circulation, that's when you have stronger winds. So of course the northern area is going to have a little bit stronger wind, but nothing that we haven't already seen. In fact, they've come down even since earlier today. So there's some good news for you guys. Overall, not so impacted. I just would advise, if you don't have to get in the water on the coast, to not. It's still pretty to go out there, take a walk and look for it. If I didn't answer any of these questions throughout this broadcast, feel free to shoot me a message here. Andrew Gordon should be tagged in the top of this if you're watching on Facebook. If not, I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening. We're going to do another digital update very similar to this one coming up tonight at 8 o'clock in case you missed it and you're watching this maybe on a little bit of a delay. And also, of course, after the football game on CBS will be on the news. So I hope you guys have a good rest of your evening and that you'll join us again later on.